IFREMER, if you don't know this institute, this is a French institute of research for exploitation of the sea. We have a lot of locations because we are in the France and in the French island. And we have 1,500 employees, and we have a big fleet with 11 research bases. And the area of expertise of IFREMER is very large because we work on the fishing, aquaculture, environment, and energy or biotechnology. And for this presentation, I try to see FIB as a keyword in the IFREMER Institute repository, FishBase. And the results show 290 items during the last 20 years. And there are two periods. The first period between 2011, this is a period we increased but don't increase, and the second period is after 2011. It's a very high increase because there are a lot of study with ecosystem scale. And there are 219 items, but there are more others because 223 others is very important because this number is higher than the researcher and engineers on the fisheries research, and this is very important because it's important, but this number is below of the reality because many colleagues use publication from FishBase, but use only the reference of publication in FishBase without FishBase publication. And of course, I think that if we have a good view of FishBase data, the number is much higher than this number. And the second point is we use the FishBase data from many standards and other applications in IFREMER for all day, but we don't identify, of course, FishBase in the IFREMER. In IFREMER, this is a French institute, and we provide a lot of data, but if we have a good study, it's very important to compare the data or to add more data into models, and of course, because there are different kinds of study. The first study is a stock of single species, and the second study is a multi-specific study. And the third scale is ecosystem study or model. And now I present some different examples of IFREMER study with using FishBase data. The first study, for example, this is the paper on the deep-produced species in the Mediterranean, and the people use maximum standard length, juvenile length, or micro age. Another study, for example, is using biological traits to get insight into the mato-demersal community sensitivity to traveling in the Celtic Sea. And for this study, the colleague used position of substratum, finding mode, size, or longevity. Another type of study is functional weakness. Is very important to work on the assembly rule, structuring marine fish community. And FishBase data use habitat use and gill trophic and standard lengths. And for example, this is another study the functional invertebrate group, and the data used from FishBase with habitat use, trophic yield, and morphological attributes. And another study is community fish of large treat over 3 decades of warming, and the colleague used a lot of different data because it's a very large scale. And another study using FishBase is the last study on the coelacanth, because for coelacanth we work on the new scale analysis river coelacanth aging, and when we compare the aging of coelacanth with a last method, we obtain, for example, 10 years old for this specimen, and for the new method, we obtain 47 years old for the same specimen. And when we compare the growth curve with the last method, we obtain for the larger specimen captured around 2 meters. We obtain 20 or 25 years old. And with the new data, with a red scale of a red growth curve, we obtain 100 years old for the longevity. And the second information is the age of the first sexual maturity. We obtain with the growth model, we obtain 55 years old. And the third information of this study, this is a gestation duration, and we see 5 years for the gestation duration. And when we obtain this new information with a new method, it's very important to have the large view of position of coelacanth in the whole species. And we use a rate, of course, and we use 1,383 population to see this oximetric plot. And with this oximetric plot, with Van Bertalanffy growth parameters, we see the new point of coelacanth. This is a pink point, and coelacanth is close to the deep sea shark. And before, with aging information of coelacanth is very close to the tuna. And when we reinforce the information of the new information of coelacanth. And the second use of fish-based data is oximetric plot. It's possible to extract time-related life history trait with, of course, Van Bertalanffy growth parameters, but it's possible to use longevity, spawning frequency, or inverse of gestation time. And we see the new position of coelacanth with a high longevity, late maturity, close to the deep sea shark and close to the rubies. And this is a deep sea ship. And of course, in IFREMER we use a lot of fish-based data, but I think that it's very good if it's possible to FishBase use some data from IFREMER and to use, for example, we develop a lot of air script to extract the data, and perhaps it's possible to have a new link between IFREMER and FishBase. Thanks a lot.